안녕하세요, 해븐입니다. This lecture is for the higher learners. Most of you want to speak Korean fluently. Actually, I can't speak English like the native speakers, but I don't feel uncomfortable to say it. But just a few years ago, it wasn't. What have I understood and practiced for it? I can tell you Korean and English are pronounced with using different methods for each ones. And I found the most important differences in your vocal cords. Vocal cords are in the middle of our neck and make a vibration for our voice. So we cannot see its movement, but we can understand it through our native language. Of course, I started my journey from Korean pronunciation to English, and you should follow the exact opposite direction on the same way. You already know about voice sound like z, v, and unvoiced sound like s, f. Technically, the vowels and schwa belongs to the voiced sound, but I separate them into 5 conditions to understand them by its phoneme. Voiced sound, unvoiced sound, vowel sound, weak voiced sound, nasal sound. Let me explain them simply and which one is also used in Korean language. Focus on the vibration of my voice. Voiced sound. R, V, J, Z, Z. Unvoiced sound. Sh, T, F, F, H, H. Vowel sound. A, A, A. Weak voiced sound. U, Nasal sound. N, Okay, do you know about your vocal cords? Then you are ready to understand Korean vocalization. Korean doesn't have a voiced sound. We use weak voiced sound to say Korean consonants. We also have unvoiced sound. Of course, the upper term of voiced sound is defined by me. Korean has a kind of voiced sound like vowel sound and nasal sound. But we don't have a vocal cords condition of English voiced sound like z, the. In the formal lecture, I told you Korean consonants are so fast that it cannot be said alone. But you can say English consonants alone like t, g, r. If the conditions of Korean consonants were same to English ones, we also could pronounce it alone after practicing. But we can't. Here's the key point. As I told you, we use our vocal cords to make a vibration. But the condition of voiced sound are very different from the one of vowel sound. So it takes some time to change one into the other, even though it's less than a second. In mix, you can pronounce voiced sound alone, like g, d. But when we say 기억 and 디귿, the conditions of our vocal cords are almost at the middle of between vowel sound and usual condition. You can think the usual condition is a kind of unvoiced sound when you don't give a breath to speak. So we can say it fast and cannot say it like an English voiced sound. When you try to pronounce it like an English voiced sound, our vocal cords have too much movement and it makes uncomfortable. And you will have same experience when you try to speak Korean like the native speakers. Now you can understand why 기억 sounds like both of g and k. You can naturally have it while practicing very many Korean sentences with the native speakers. But I can show you the steps to follow. It will save your time. My vocalization is a relative concept. I'm trying to hold on the pitch and power as much as I can, but they can be different by personal habitation. You can use vowel sound for Korean vowel. A, e, u. You can use unvoiced sound for Korean unvoiced consonants. T, sh, h, t, t, s, we, sui, she, h, h. You can use weak voiced sound for Korean consonants except unvoiced sound. U, g, a, ga, ka, j, a, ja, ja. Compare it to voiced sound. G, a, ga, ka. This is same for end sound. As you know, Korean unvoiced sound is pronounced as weak voiced sound of similar mouth shape to them. For example, all of these are pronounced as 기억. But it's so short and weak, so it sounds like unvoiced sound k to you. A, ak, ak. Let me show you more examples. D, a, tat, s, a, 삿, p, a, pop. Nasal sound. Generally, English nasal sound uses vowel sound, but Korean nasal sound uses also weak voiced sound. But shut your mouth up totally with your lips or tongue. The breath cannot go through your mouth. It has to go into your nose. A, ma, a, mum. Allow me to teach you in my life. Thanks for watching and sharing my lectures.